All right. All praises be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the Great Millstone Church, Shalom, as well to the elder bishops and the rest of the elders of the branches, as well as the Akim, also holding forth this true word of life and all true faith and sincerity. So I just want to deal with Sirach 4 and 29. So let's just get into it. It says, Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss. So I'm going to read it one more time. It says, Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss. So don't be quick to say things. Watch what you say. Don't be quick to say things you're not going to do. You know, don't be quick to say you're going to do something, and then when it comes down to doing it, you're not keeping the same energy. You slack or remiss. So when it says be not hasty, let's get the word hasty.
Hasty.
Hasty. It says done or acting with excessive speed. So not just speed, but excessive speed or urgency, hurry. It says acting with excessive speed or insufficient consideration. Right. So you're not even what you're saying is not even sound. Is ill tempered, if you will. All right. It's with no thought, like how they say, think before you speak. So when you get into the synonyms, you get the word. Let's jump down. Impulsive, reckless, rash. The scriptures tell you to be not rash with thy tongue. All right. It says synonym right here, as you see. It says unthinking. See, unthinking, ill judged. So ill advised, spur of the moment. All right. So yeah, man, you just quick to say whatever, I wouldn't say come to mind, but just speak, as soon as you want to. It says, this the AI overview. Hasty means moving or acting with excessive speed, often leading to a lack of care, thought, or proper judgment. All right. So you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to obviously have care. You're supposed to have thought and proper judgment, you know, in all you do. So let's go back. So when it says be not hasty, meaning in thy tongue, meaning don't say something you haven't considered you haven't thought about. Don't say something without thinking of the consequences of, you know, that can come with whatever it is you might say. All right. Don't be so quick to say something because you give you give yourself a chance to do such a thing. All right, and this is a commandment. This is a precept. So you're not supposed to do that. You know, you're supposed to think before you speak. You know, look ahead, see what this could probably cause, how this could affect. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you say like now you got different type of things you could say, right? Because in this case, it's talking about right, and this commandment: be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss. That is, so in this instance, these particular words is talking about right are specific, and and they're dealing with when you say something that leads to you have to have follow up behind it, to where someone and expect something from you, you know, because of what it is you said, and you gotta be mindful to consider that. All right, because they're not your words. This is Sirach 1 and 29. It says, Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed what thou speakest. See? So you're going to take good heed of what it is, whatever it is you're saying. Because you might say something that, like I did a lesson not too long ago, that can cause, one to want to, get combative with you. You might call something to where argue. You might say something to where an argument can get started. Somebody want to fight or something now, because you're not thinking before you speak. You being uh, hasty in thy tongue. But then you could say something quick that may be in the context or in the scenario of you, you know, saying you're gonna do something. Well, people gonna expect what it is. Like, say you're gonna do something for somebody, or you say you're gonna get something done. Like, yeah, uh, I'll come do this. I'll be throughout. I got you on that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, don't worry about it. I'll get it for you. You know, it's like someone drops something. You be like, don't worry about it. I'll pick it up for you. They're gonna be standing there expecting you to do it. But say you just said that without any dang thought that it's actions that's gonna be expected from you. You know, you're gonna be looking crazy, man. All right, you're gonna be looking crazy. But that'll be due to which it sound crazy, but you got people that do stuff like that. You don't tell somebody you're gonna do something. No matter how minute it is, and you don't consider that they're gonna expect you to follow up on that. All right, because it can lead to a world of other stuff, and not only you looking crazy. All right. So again, be not a hypocrite in the sight of men, and take good heed with thou speakest. So in this case, don't talk a good talk. Walk what you talk. All right. So let's go back to Sirach 4 and jump down back to the scripture. It says, "Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss." So this is why I was telling you to, be not hasty. All right. Got to break it down. And thy tongue is dealing with the words you're saying, and then in thy deeds, you know, um, the actions that are to correlate, or supposedly supposedly were to correlate, let you tell it. They're slack and remiss. You see what I'm saying? Meaning they're slow or half-assed, or really not even that. They really don't correlate. You see what I'm saying? It ain't actually what it is, that you're supposed to be doing based off what you said. It's not even actually what it is that you said you was gonna do. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to be like that. So let's get the word slack and remiss.
Slack.
Not taut or held tightly, in position loose. Let me see. Lazy in the online etymology.com. Let's just go there. All right. Indolent or lazy. Slow in movement. Lax. All right. Let's jump back. I seen a better one. It says not using, in the Merriam-Webster dictionary, not using due diligence. You see what I'm saying? You're not giving it the you're not giving it the treatment that it ought to be given. You're not giving the effort that ought to be given. You're not coming with a follow up, that's fitting, that's suitable, based off what you said. You see what I'm saying? So but you're still, coming forth with one. So that means you're coming forth with one that's slack. You're being slack. You see what I'm saying? Because it says moderate in some quality. All right, and it says also flowing at low speed. You know what I'm saying? Lacking in completeness. So yeah, if it's slow in speed, it make you slow to get to it. You see what I'm saying? You say you're gonna do something, somebody expecting for you to do it, and it's something that consists of you got like a time restriction on it. Something that deals with timing. And here it is, you slow to get to it. Yeah, I'm gonna go take that out the oven. You slow to get to it. Not a food burn. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Now the bill ain't paid. You see what I'm saying? Now I'm gonna get to it. Now they closed. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna go ask them. Now whoever it is gone. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna come back and check y'all out. Y'all gonna be here? You see what I'm saying? I'll be right back. You come out, go, see brothers from down the street. You went to go do whatever you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming, the whole time you told us, hey, you gonna come right back. I'm gonna come right back. I'm coming right back. And you can come out of the store and probably see us from down the street. You peek down there and see if the brother's still down there. And then now you hanging around talking to them and, you know what I'm saying, whoever it is in the place you went to. And you're done, though. You done doing what you had to go do that way. But now you just hanging around looking, twiddling your finger. You hop on the phone, scrolling and all that. That's being slack. And then here it is. For another however much time passed, brothers leave. You go back in, come back out, they packing up. You see what I'm saying? And you had to get something answered, Or you come back outside, brothers ain't even there no more. That's how it go. So this is why you're not supposed to be like that. That's being slow to get to it. Right? You told the Lord, yeah, Lord, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And you slow to get to it. It's crazy. So when you go to the next definition, it says lacking in completeness, finish, or perfection. So it ain't thorough, man. It's not you're not giving due diligence, due care. Yeah, I'll change the baby. You go change the baby. The baby, the baby diaper half on. You ain't even close the other diaper. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn diaper about falling off the baby, behind, so forth, so on, man. Then someone see it, the person see it that you told you was gonna change the diaper. They're like, man, what the hell is this, man? Because based off what you said is unbefitting, and based off the contents of what it is you said you spoke on, it's bogus. You see what I'm saying? So come on, man. You say you're gonna change a baby, that's something delicate. You gotta make sure that the baby clean, the baby on point, secure, Then they pee come out the diaper, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's madness, man. That's a thorough, complete job. And then in the way that in the energy that you said, that you spoke about something that delicate, it's unfitting. Yeah, I'm gonna get to it. Yeah, I'm changing them right now, and I'm gonna take care of that. And then you go do something like that. It don't make no sense. So yeah, that's basically that, man. So it says, "Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack or remiss." I'm gonna get one more. This is Proverbs 10:4. It says, "He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent make it rich." Exactly, man. Here it is. You like, yeah, I'm gonna come to cut the grass. Take care of it and get the thing nice and clean, man. You come, that's obviously a timing thing. Ain't nobody trying to be waiting for you to come 3 years later to cut their grass. You know what I'm saying? So you obviously got to get straight to that. You can't be slacking that way. But then when you come do it, you got to, put forth a due diligent effort, Like they call it lawn care. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, because it's going to make you look good at the end of the day. You might get a good report to where now, Mom's like, yeah, co-sign to you, out here. Just for an example. People will tell other people now you richer behind that. Now they only want you to cut their grass. So forth and so on. Just anything like that. So you have to be, you gotta be, this is a commandment for life. It's not in the sense of just being a brother in the truth, in the sense of just being a big brother, in the sense of just being a dang wife, a husband, in the sense of just being an employer at a plantation. employee at a plantation, an employee for an employer. You know, you might train. You know, you in some type of sport. You know, some type of athletic. All everything. You see what I'm saying? So as a brother, as a first and foremost, a child is serving in Yahweh Shemi Shah. You know, in that order, as a brother, as a wife, as a son, as a daughter. You know, and as one who has their name put upon whatever it is they do. You know, you got to get in and do the job, man. Yeah, coach, I could run the play. I could do this. I could do that. You know, here it is. You the dang. You've been put in. You know, as a second string because the first string stuck. You know, and you want the job. You know, so you can't be. You know, you want to take heed. You want to be hasty at what it is you say. You want to be not hasty in what it is you could say and think about it. You know, and you want to make sure. You know, you when you say you do something, you not only think of the consequences, but if it's something that you say that you will have to have follow up on actions to cap it off with, that they're fitting, they're on point, they're not less than. But anyway, so it says Proverbs 10:4, he becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand. See that? But the hand of the diligent make it rich, because they gonna do the good job. You see what I'm saying? To where, you know, you'll have a good rep. You will be entrusted with more. You know? Because the scriptures say, he that is faithful, and Yahweh Shah said, he that is faithful in little is also faithful in much. And he that is unfaithful in little is the same as unfaithful in much. I'll end it here. Luke 19, and I'm gonna jump to the point. This is verse 17. I'm gonna start at 16. Then came the first, saying, Lord, thy pound has gained 10 pounds. And he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. See? So because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. See that? As the Lord seen, you know, you always followed up, you know, with your action. You know, you always when you said something, you always, you know, you ain't just talk the talk. You ain't just give lip service. You walked what you taught, and it was a reasonable sacrifice. You know, it was accurate. It was diligent. You see what I'm saying? It was as, you know, it should have been, as you said you was gonna do it. You know, it was incomplete. All these things that he seen you in, you know, and from the most mundane point to your life. You see that? So you want to look at it like this, because this is a mentality, and you don't want to not have this mentality, this proper mentality. You don't want to not be following this commandment, you know, in any aspect of your life, you know, because it's to your benefit if you are following it. You see? Because it's only going to allow you to go further and add unto yourself. It's a good thing. So again, because, and he said unto him, well, thou good servant, because thou hast been faithful in a very little, have thou authority over 10 cities. Those little things. Say you're going to do the video, you know, and do it, you know, as it ought to be done. Do it in accordance to where it is at. That's why scripture say, Yahweh Shah said, whatever thy hand findeth to do, do it all thy might. You know? Why? Because it's going to be like, oh, yeah, bro, you know, or sis, the brother, the sister, the thorough, you know, the young boy, the young girl, thorough, you know. Start right 43 and 30. No, that said that was the last one, but since I quoted that, I'll just get this. It says, when ye glorify the Lord, exalt him as much as ye can. See that? For even yet will he far exceed. See that? And when ye exalt him, put forth all your strength. Because the Lord is about putting forth all His strength, yet on top, more on top of that, and be not weary. See that? For ye can never go far enough. It ain't about being over righteous, but it's again, it's like having care to thy name, things, and like of that nature. But that's pretty much the point. Sirach 4 and 29. It says, "Be not hasty in thy tongue, and in thy deeds slack and remiss." You see that? So when it come time to dang do it, you ain't doing it. But you always talking quick, saying stuff. You don't want to be like that. So call them like how Bashmi Al Shah. Till next time, shalom.